So the One Piece anime is set to return on April the 6th, 2025, which is good news. I can imagine now that the animators are fully rested, they are going to deliver absolute greatness. But while this is great news for the Japanese sub, we actually have some unexpected news for the English dub, which honestly left my jaw on the ground. Toei Animation released a new update regarding the English dub. The new batch of English dub episodes from Egghead Part 1 in One Piece, episodes 1109 to 1122, start streaming on Crunchyroll this March 18th, 2025. Emily Fajardo, the ADR director of the last year and a half for the One Piece anime, released a statement regarding this news update. With this, after 18 years, the One Piece English dub will officially be caught up to the Japanese version of the main story. Wanted to share a few thoughts on my part of this enormous team effort. 18 years in the making, the English dub of One Piece has officially caught up to the Japanese version of the main story. It has been one of the biggest honors of my life to spend the last 3 years sailing towards this milestone with everyone. First, as one of the two ADR directors, and as the sole series ADR director for the last year and a half. For 3 years straight, I have had the privilege of working with this cast and crew 5 days a week and witnessing their unbelievable talent and passion firsthand. What this team, past and present, have accomplished together, especially those who have been on board since the beginning, is nothing short of staggering. It took a grand fleet of nearly 1,500 actors and crew members, stretching across nearly 2 decades, to reach this massive milestone, the largest English dubbing effort in anime history. We could never have made it this far without the unwavering support and patience of the One Piece fanbase. Thank you all for being the most loyal crewmates we could ever ask for, and for inspiring us every day with your love for Oda's legendary story. I couldn't be prouder to be a piece of this historic team effort, and am brimming with excitement to be at the helm of the adventure ahead. To laugh till we go. What do I think about this news? This is absolutely bonkers. I am so happy the English dub is finally caught up, but I don't think a lot of people actually realize how much of a big deal this is. Back in 2020, when I started my One Piece journey, I noticed that the English dub stopped halfway in the Punk Hazard arc, while the Japanese sub was almost at the end of the Whole Cake Island arc. We are talking over 300 episodes behind. I do feel like ever since the merger of Funimation and Crunchyroll, they started to go crazy with the release of the English dub, releasing 12 episodes every 3 to 6 months. And honestly, mate, I do feel like with this 6-month break of the One Piece anime in Japan, I think this has allowed the English dub to truly catch up. I just think it's a huge grand achievement, dude. I watched the One Piece English sub for the first time back in 2020, and I caught up at around episode 915. After that, I more or less fell off One Piece. I had a couple of reasons as to why. One, I did love binge watching One Piece, so I wasn't too sure if I was going to like the series watching it weekly, but also the art and animation had a complete transformation in the Wano arc, to the point where I was not even paying attention to the subtitles. I was just in awe over the beauty of the Wano art style. And because of that, I more or less sort of wanted to watch the English dub for One Piece just to appreciate the art and animation. But I powered through, as episode 1071 was a big episode and I had to just catch up in the Japanese. But then after that, I decided to rewatch One Piece in English dub. I did intend to only watch the East Blue saga, as I wanted to compare the East Blue in anime to the live action, as that was when the live action got released. But I was so invested in the One Piece anime, and me being very curious to hear the voices of future characters in English, I powered through and I never looked back. What's my thoughts on the English dub? I'm actually really amazed by how faithful the English dub is and how much it sounds very similar to the Japanese. It has the same energy, vibe and style, which I love. When I first watched the English dub, the two characters that sounded drastically different from the sub were Zoro and Luffy, but honestly I've really enjoyed their interpretation of the characters in English. It gives the show that extra bit of flavor. When watching the show initially, I watched it all in sub, but during the Sky Pier, Water 7 and Enies Lobby arc, I decided to switch to the dub just to hear it out, and then I switched back to the sub once we went to Thriller Bark. But But continuing my journey with the Japanese version, I just always preferred Frankie and Robin's voices in the dub, and I think that was one of the main reasons as to why in 2023 I rewatched the whole One Piece anime in the dub. I don't know how to explain it, but at least for Luffy in the English dub, he's like this: let's have some fun guys, let's have some real adventures. He's very childlike and whimsical in the dub in the East Blue Saga, but in the Japanese he's very much like, fun, now, let's have some fun, now! He's a lot more sharp and unpredictable in the Japanese in the East Blue Saga. However, Zoro seems a lot more macho in the dub, very Johnny Bravo-esque. You need to be a real man, Luffy, and all that jazz. But as the show went on, I do feel like both the Japanese and the English more or less matched the character of Luffy quite well, and there were never really any inconsistencies with either of the languages. But due to the fact that the One Piece anime became more dense, the story and the lore, so much information was happening all at once in certain episodes, I had to watch it in dub, as I was missing out so many little clues. I had no idea the 4 emperors were teased before the Arlong Park arc. That is insane. So to see that the English dub has finally caught up to the Japanese sub has put a big smile on my face. Even Colleen Clickenbeard, the voice of Luffy in the dub, seems pretty pumped at the thought of the One Piece anime being caught up. I think doing this is going to make One Piece even more accessible, as some people out there in the world will always prefer the English dub over the sub. I get it, you don't want to be reading text on the bottom of the screen. Having all these episodes in English dub available is just going to make One Piece more accessible for people. But now the question remains, will they be doing a simul dub, or will they still be releasing the episodes in batched releases? Let's just hope that they release it as a simul dub, because mate, that would be absolutely fantastic. But tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this news update? Which do you prefer, the sub or the dub for One Piece? Tell me, like this video, subscribe for more anime videos, news updates, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings and more. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy dude review signing out.